Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting and riveting and amazing Propagandacast from your host Imperial Dane, the one and only Master Propaganda Heroes like Defender of the Fatherland, of it to a 1v1 on, you guessed it, it is Faymonville Approach. In the northwest, it is FeriG fighting here for freedom and democracy. Liberty in the southeast, it is Reakly fighting for the German army. Deutschland here with Italian combined arms straight off the bat here with DAK forming up with the 90th Panzergrenadier against FeriG's first armoured. We got engineers, we got the fast jeep there. As always, big hearty thanks to my patron supporters for continued generous and wonderful support of the Propagandacast. Keeps making all these videos possible. And a big thanks to those keep, just commenting and liking. Helps out immensely with the YouTube algorithms. So, off to the races here. Racing out in various directions. Jeep almost down here for FeriG. Will likely use to hunt down the back, which causes now can provide combined arms bonus to nearby infantry that has that ability, which is obviously likely causing some problems and probably eventually get toned down. Of course, the does beg ultimate. The question of the combined arms element there was really a thing that needed like an ability like that. Italian troops heading northwards here. Likely another squad on the way for Reakly in a few moments. Rushing for those victory points. Very much part and parcel, I imagine, so with these strategies. Keep moving in, grabbing points, of course, can do that with its Veterans 1 ability. But yeah, he's moving out there. Probably also looking to maybe slow down the victory point grabbing, but again, gonna hunt down that bike. And there you go. Jeep going in after it. 30 cal there, ripping into the bike. Wood's being smashed apart there as the bike crashes into it. And I imagine splinters going to the face of the poor driver. Light support company there for Reakly. Bessier running about. Keep these in the center and the south here. We got engineers clashing with Panzerpioniere.
Victory point lost.
So far Reakly's playing this like a pretty standard Italian combined arms build here out of the DAK, as if though nothing had really changed. Which is a bit interesting to note there. Jeep is in the center, of course, not trusting this, of course, is early days. Some people just utilize strategies they already know without really adapting. Probably waiting for other players to figure out the new strats. Second rifle squad down the way for FeriG, or strategies, as the layman calls them. Strats is for the cool guys. Or at least the people who think they're cool. In the south here, rifle squad GB catching the Panzerpioniere, laying down a mine, of course. FeriG puts the slammer on that and forces here Reakly to withdraw his Panzerpioniere before they get wiped out from the face of the earth. Up north here, fresh German push, and we got Panzers up for Reakly to help deal with the Jeep. Obviously giving him quite a bit of a headache. Northern fuel can be seized by the Bessier right outside FeriG's fuel base here, and of course could deny him 10 fuel per minute, which of course would be pretty big there for Reakly and certainly painful for FeriG. But he's caught up in all the fighting, and he's actually sort of really heavily invested in the south as well. So this is actually a pretty good move there by Reakly, threatening to give Reakly a bit more, fuel edge over FeriG. So this is worth noting though, comparatively he hasn't grabbed the fuel punch on his own base, so I don't know. Perhaps not that smooth when you can't even get that. But there you go, almost got the one in the north fully seized. Panzer is ready there with that Panzerbuchse. Jeep moving about here, looking to sneak up here on Reakly, and more likely, imagine, try and catch that bike, which itself is just trying to, get through this entire mess without getting shot to bits. But there you go, Jeep taking a lot of damage. They did make one change, so the early game light vehicles are a little less overwhelmingly powerful. They increase the penetration for rifles at closer ranges, so if you just drive up and try and bully it into submission, you're going to take a lot more damage, which does mean you just have to be a bit more smart about them. As previously, you would get just Jeep driving straight up and firing point blank at a squad and beating it, which is obviously a bit silly. Third Bessier squad out there, noting that no Bessier bolsters out there for Reakly. Oh, then he gets it. Bit could have offset that out soon, in which case you get that, for free, the sixth guy there, always something you want to keep in mind. That can be a bit of manpower you save. But up north, FeriG and Freedom are advancing, seizing, and laying claim to all before them. In the south, a back once more counters American resistance is forced to withdraw here. And we got a fresh attempt here by Reakly to lay down some mines. The Schützenminus 44, and we also got minesweepers. And there we go, big push here by Reakly northwards, a full 3 squads of Italians. Of course, worth noting, half of them are at low health and are, of course, quickly suffering casualties due to that. No healing here for Reakly in the early game. Does mean these Italians will now start to suffer quite heavily. And at this stage, he's strong. He should consider getting ambulance out and just preserve manpower. Cut-off point being hit as well. We can see FeriG is quickly outmaneuvering Reakly, even This Jeep can't quite as fast move about as the bike. He's still able to use it quite efficiently, but also he's good at using, you know, his pressure tactics. Reakly going for the northern fuel point as FeriG is going for the southern fuel point. We got fast support elements here, but we got infantry support, and more crucially, we got a medical station. So that's ever going to be helpful here for FeriG. There's healing, obviously, but there's also the casualty recovery mechanic. There you go. Reakly's going for the ambulance now. Thumbs up to that. Of course, he still does not get any casualty recovery.
Territory sector out of contact.
Charging in with the Jeep. Fearlessly bullying the Italian troops in the south here. Rafts rolling up. We got bikes and we got the Panzers here. That's set against unit heavy cover. This is not exactly going to be like a fantastic combo, and I think Reakly is catching on to that. So that field point will fall to America in the southern east between the Panzer Pioneer. I got flamethrowers up here. And reminder, flamethrowers take get buff. We also got Reakly here mining the wooden bridge, impressively enough. I mean, technically could like do something like booby trapping in a sense. And there going the south, mine goes off, killing one of FeriG's engineers, but FeriG overall really getting some strong map control against FeriG, who's definitely struggling more and more. Fast support elements here. Motor pull away for FeriG will likely be a Chaffee and a Greyhound. Maybe just a Greyhound. And we got rapid deployment, so he can get out any vehicles he wants, and tanks very fast. And he's going for a fourth squad of infantry, meaning he's really pushing for that infantry edge the USF, of course, always want. Aggressive use of manpower here, which is always good to see. And will certainly make things a bit tougher for Reakly, in particular since, you know, Reakly hasn't quite had much success with fuel control. In fact, FeriG's have increasingly much better success denying Reakly fuel than Reakly's done it with FeriG now. And so he can't even say follow up with a fast flak feeling half-track, which is pretty big here for FeriG. In particular, since like even if he did get it out fast, it has been nerfed. It's not quite as universally just able to like shut down all infantry easily. That certainly is complicating matters here for Reakly. I mean, one option, of course, would be go for the MG34 team. That way, get in some suppressive firepower versus FeriG here. Of course, that could bring in mortars and whatnot. But of course, at this point, he's going to need more anti-tank assets as the Greyhound is about to hit him. Ultimately, not that big of a delay with the fueling cost increase there, since, I mean, FeriG still got very good map control due to the Americans. Check out the armoured. So we'll have to see, of course, how Reakly responds to this Greyhound that's about to hit me. Of course, he has one Panzer squad, but will this be enough to halt the armoured car menace as the Greyhound? Adding the armoured side skirts, dashing in for democracy. Grenades are being flung here. And the Panzers are busy up north, going to try and flank in. We got the backwing forwards here, having done a bit of cheekiness there against FeriG. Greyhound there ripping into them. We'll need the 50 caliber now, since they basically changed the AoE, so it's less like able to just burst down units and wipe several men in a single hit. Though, of course, with the 50 caliber, still overall does the same amount of damage total. Just again, less overall, explosively so. Heading that fuel point again, just FeriG with that constant fuel economy hit here. Constantly, like, making it difficult for, you know, Reakly to move ahead. And it's worth noting, actually goes for the assault grenadier team. It obviously helps versus the rifleman. But, you know, another anti-tank rifle squad would have been helpful versus the Greyhound. So, does also mean, though, he does have more parity with FeriG in terms of infantry. But there we go. Assault grenadier is going to get a wipe here, and of course that will help out Reakly a fair bit, delivering a blow across the face here of FeriG and punishing him for extensions. BAR's up there. Italians are about to get wiped out. Very much getting the favor back here at Reakly. And they're going to be retreating. 250 half-track diving in deeper. Missing on 2 to perhaps get some more wipes here at FeriG. All of action here. But we can see there, though, FeriG is establishing victory point dominance against Reakly. Got 473 versus 307, and Reakly needs to, like, you know, pick up the pace on the victory points side of things. I'm not entirely sure what's going on with the 250 half-track. Seems like some pathing issues, but also, like, Reakly is perhaps not entirely sure where he wants it to go. And now here, at the 9, almost 10-minute mark, we get Reakly with the flag-filling half-track. Not a bad idea as such, but at this point, feels rather late. I mean, already his opponent has an armored car out. It could technically go for Chaffee soon as well. Which definitely means that
We're losing grasp of the victory point.
flak filling is perhaps not quite going to be as effective as Reakly might have hoped for. So I'm not entirely sure this is going to be the
We have lost the
best pick here. I mean, honestly, at this stage might make more sense for Reakly to consider, like, you know, going straight for some Inventors, or, you know, the M30 even if they've obviously been more expensive. We got the flak filling and a pack 38 for Reakly. Lost a 250 half-track. His assault grenadiers were riding along in. Still no sign of 50 cals there. Which is honestly to the benefit of Reakly that FeriG's not doing that. Might be, of course, that FeriG's just using upgrading it, so of course isn't considering it now. But it is worth considering now. You still want, like, the granted a lot of damage, you do need the 50 cal upgrade now. Railway flak filling out there. Pack 38 almost done, and fun fact, there would actually be cases where this type of half-track, obviously without the flak filling, actually have the Pack 38 mounted on it to form up a sort of, shall we say, improvised tank destroyer forward mounting. Fun fact. Not an official model, but there's definitely photos of it here and there. It's sort of a fun little note there. Up north, the Greyhound there's a lone Bessier squad. Reakly there pushing his luck a bit. And the south, you can see that is where Reakly's going to push up. Probably because that's currently where FeriG isn't. So of course by attacking southwards he can more easily make great gains, set up good positions to deal with the counterattack. Does need the flak filling up here, though of course he might be worried about anti-tank guns, so he's not too keen on driving it up too quickly there, because he's switching up positions, realizing he probably should have the troops with the guns that can deal with infantry at the forefront. North here, lone Bessier squad engaged with the Greyhound. Got recovery vehicles, so that definitely means advanced, or, you know, allied war machine out of FeriG for cheaper light vehicles and eventually cheaper tanks. Rival here holding up as the flak filling unleashes hell here. Panzerpini being in to assist. And there you go, Pack 38 in the scene here, slamming a 50mm armor piercing round into the Greyhound. Mine spotted. Of course, getting swept away. Always a good thing to ensure you have minesweepers against any opponent. There's obviously the indirect benefit of increased repair speeds, but, like, you know, you always want to make sure you're prepared in case your opponent has mines. FeriG finally replacing the lost souls of the previous Rav squad, and is going here for another squad. Likes his infantry shoots there for some artillery for Reakly. Not a bad pick, but I think with the current state of affairs, you feel like, you know, more infantry, a machine gun might do Reakly a bit more good here versus FeriG. Then again, it's also just a really good map for it, so I mean, again, it's not like it's a bad pick. Especially on this map, which again is more cramped, it's more narrow. So again, light artillery like this can easily dominate a larger part of the map from, you know, pretty safe distances. Also applies, of course, to pack howitzers, heavy mortars, or like any, like, you know, howitzers and whatnot. They have a bit of an oversized ability to make this map a bit of a uncomfortable experience due to, again, its small size. This is also, of course, an issue in CoH3, back when some of the British could place mortar emplacements within their base. They could cut a fat chunk of the base on the map within their base, which was obviously not ideal.
Victory point under enemy control.
Wrath squad here and there go. Line gun blasting at the Americans. The Yankees there feeling the wrath of the Leichtes Infanteriegeschütz. Southeast soldiers catching Wrath up close. MP40s versus BARs, Thompson and the M1 Garand. And there you go, Ravensen packing. As they move forward with the MP40s, the Maschinenpistolen 40. More BARs there for FeriG's infantry. No, not Allied War Machine. Instead he goes for the Scott now. Interesting pick there by FeriG. Could perhaps indicate he's not going to, like, you know, focus on a lot of chaffies, which of course take get nerfed, so they're less effective just to spam in large numbers, even with Allied War Machine. Could of course also, of course, he just wants to go for that Sherman ECA to get that sweet, sweet rat pit action. Or he also wants a Scott, you know, the M8 Scott. Panzerpioneer there, taking losses. Helmut expires before the countless guns of the US Army here. It's the first army, or first armored division there. Baker Company keeps up the assault. Bessier, they're getting flanked. Noting while he has the braid upgrade, he has yet to upgrade in his men with it. Panzer Army commander there for Reakly. Gonna be seeing Panther 3s anytime soon. We can all see now, of course, Reakly is starting to get a bit of fuel control here back against FeriG. So that's good. And we do get the Scott here for FeriG. Bit surprised at that. I mean, not wildly surprised. It's, of course, still a good unit, but a part of me would definitely expect them to try and go for the EC8 first. But there you go, M8 Scott out. Basically a Stuart light tank, but with a small Howitzer there mounted turret. Assault goes, they're getting hammered. We got the Panzer Army Commando done. Plus a Pack 38 more here for Reakly, so I'm guessing, like, you know, advanced reserves, so that armored reserves, there you go. It's not going to be like immediately on his priority list, because otherwise he just delayed like any potential like tank calling he could have made with it anyways. So there you go. That of course means now Reakly has 2 anti-tank guns to bring to bear against FeriG and the United States Army here up north, back in trouble. Looks like that's going to be the end of it. Yes, indeed. Good work though for Reakly to keep it alive for that long. Meanwhile, Scott moving in there with its 75mm howitzer. Bessier there getting blasted. And in the centre we got the Bessier there also based in the far south, Panzer Pioneer there on the, well, wrong end there. And we got FeriG of course going for the 5th Rifle Squad. Because even with this amount of nerves, as long as you got advanced logistics, it's not really going to make much of a difference. I mean, obviously it makes a lot of sense for FeriG to still go for a lot of riflemen because it's still a very effective strategy. Up north here, Panzer Jäger's moving up here looking to threaten the Scots here with their Panzerbuchse. Doing some light damage here to the self-propelled artillery piece. Assault gun, but anyways. Need to withdraw that, and here we go, Rifle Squad pushing back the Bessieri. Again, worth noting, Reakly has still yet to upgrade his men despite, you know, the heavy arms that FeriG's riflemen are bearing. Flak Fin to the rescue. And of course, assault grenadiers plus light infantry gun pretty much means these riflemen have to withdraw or they're going to get toasted. Oh, Panzerjäger's wiped. Minor blow to Reakly at this point, obviously not like, you know, they were doing a lot of great stuff here versus FeriG, but still kind of sucks as they were, you know, sort of a threat enough to the light vehicles under FeriG's command that, well, obviously they're not going to like force immediate withdrawal. They're not something you could fully ignore either. That does kind of suck there for Reakly, though, of course. He still has 2 Pack 38s, so it's not exactly like he's, you know, defenseless. I do think it's not an ideal choice here to upgrade or grab that anti-tank rifle with his assault grenadiers of all units. Ooh, 250 down as well, because they're assault troops. And that's just one anti-tank rifle, which is not really going to do much for them. And again, will significantly downgrade their assault ability, so I think that's a mistake. I mean, I don't think FeriG honestly would grab it. Like, FeriG has no reason to grab an anti-tank rifle, which, if he really wanted, like, you know, anti-tank, you know, weapons on his infantry, he just built bazooka teams. Like, there's just no logic there. Recovery vehicle out here for FeriG, or tank to repair his stuff. Very good. Got the Allied war machine there activated. Back to using it. In this case, he's likely just going to use it primarily for repairing stuff here.
The enemy have claimed our sector.
Of course, the actual role of these vehicles was typically just to, like, you know, tow tanks and whatnot. They couldn't, like, move on their own power.
We have Italian infantry arriving at the front.
Not so much actually do the repairs. But, you know, little fun fact there. In the case of the Germans, obviously, they operated a variety of recovery tanks. You know, they had ones off the Panther 3, there's the Berger Panther, there's a Berger Hetzer, that's a fun fact as well. An additional fun side fact is they actually also make use of captured tanks for the turret blown off and use those as recovery vehicles as well. For example, a lot of T-34s which you service in the German army as recovery tanks. Little fun story there. Do get armor reserves in the end here for Reakly and the 90th Panzer Grenadier Division. The South moving forwards here. Assault Grenadiers, Bessieri and Panzer Pioneer all swooping forward. We got there. Several Scorched Riflemen dug in across several points. And the Greyhound here to the rescue. Still no 50 cal though. Upgrade to the Greyhound.
neutralized by the enemy.
And there you go, Pack 38 ambushing it, slamming a shot there through the side armor. Meanwhile, the assault on the southern fuel pump continues. Reakly orders the men forwards, and in the end, FeriG concedes the position. Meanwhile, the rifle dying through the center.
Available in reserve, Commandant.
And the north side is falling here to the forces of democracy as well. FeriG, I think, could try and recover the bike. I don't think he would, as it's way too close to the front line. Obviously, just not worth the effort. But he could do it all over the 250 half track. Oh, not the bike anymore, not after Scott ruined it. Great, good work there, Scott.
Yes.
A lot of back and forth here, fixing up the Greyhound once more. It's pretty rare to see some players like, you know, in particular 1v1s like using the, you know, recovery tank here for actually, like, you know, repairing stuff there. But they are pretty good at the task, in particular with a bit of experience under their belt. Meanwhile, FeriG going for even more riflemen, going for a 6th rifle squad, which of course again highlights just how effective that nerf really was to them. Like any determined American player, in particular with advanced infantry, is still gonna do it. At the support center, but you get the idea, you know. It's gonna happen. Like, it's just too good not to. Rifle advance in the center. Reakly definitely is going to need some armor here to put some pressure on FeriG. Will he try and go for the Tiger? I mean, this is possible, but again, it just concede too much time here versus FeriG, who is, of course, just pulling ahead here in the name of democracy, assaulting it, Reakly's positions, collapsing his lines. Anti-tank was there being swarmed. Beam got here, the flak filling in trouble. Not a ideal position to be in here for Reakly, if anything. And again, then, well, like, you know, trying to sort out for a Tiger tank becomes pretty risky. Reakly with some fresh Panzer Pioneer, since he has no other repairing his stuff. Could go for Panther for the Stooks. Soon enough, and of course the Stooks did get buffed as well for the DAK, so I mean, it's only a bit more incentive there. We got an anti-tank in there for FeriG on top of all the riflemen.
We have lost control of a victory point.
So of course, have to see here what FeriG and Reakly do. I mean, FeriG of course could build a tank depot, start churning out the EC8s. North the assault marine got the rifle squad ready. We got the Bessieri. Looking forwards.
The enemy holds all victory points.
And there you go again, FeriG with that triple cap here once more, threatening to close out Reakly here just on victory points alone. Charging northwards, we do finally get some upgrades for the Bessieri, and far up north of soldiers in trouble. You do get a smoke grenade there to try and buy some time. And there you go, rifle force withdrawal, but we got more moving in because again, FeriG has 6 squads, so he's effectively always got reserves, like always got someone to send in. Even as like other squads being sent packing, he's got fresh reserves. Which is obviously not a bad thing as such.
LEIG out of action.
Of course, the way he can so easily maintain, of course, is perhaps the big point of concern. Again, the nerfs not really being effective in this. In part because, again, riflemen are just so efficient due to the sheer power of a lot of them, and again, with the support center, they become cheaper to reinforce and become even tougher. So, the upkeep increase that's like, you know, theoretically make it tough to maintain 6 squads, ultimately just, I don't know, ends up not really being a thing. It's kind of like the ergonomics of, like, you know, balancing. It'll just trickle down. No, it doesn't. Anyways, up north here, Greyhound engaging the assault grenadiers here. Don't know 5th cal, but again, he clearly doesn't need it. But at least it's not, as you might notice, as explosively just like causing massive casualties amongst Reakly's infantry. Reakly once more, again, kind of abandoning the south here to FeriG. Push up the center. But obviously, again, with all this infantry, some amount of machine guns could be handy. Of course, the counter-argument, as some may have already noticed, is this M8 Scott here, which of course very quickly makes short work of a machine gun, in particular with its white phosphorus shells, but... Rifle going south in trouble. Challenge troops being forged from several angles. That said, of course, there's also just a bit of a difference in terms of like overall infantry numbers here now. There's 4 squads versus 6. Definitely you know, seized a bit of advantage there. And Reakly feels like he's really going for the Tiger Tank. Again, he's splitting out of victory points. The situation on the map is not looking great, and he's just trying to go for a Tiger Tank. I would not say this is ideal by any measure. I feel like he should be going for the Panther 4, the Stooks, and obviously never the Panther 3, because the Panther 3 calling is still just not worth it. Like, you want the Panther 3 calling, you just build one instead. Like, they need to, like, change that Panther 3 to the Panther 3 Model N, which is in the files, or, I don't know, an up-armored version like the Model M, with some more side skirts, but just having it be the regular Panther 3, I think, is just not going to work out. Rather than charging in and catching the pack in a bit of a bad spot here, Bears here getting blasted, GR's advancing, Ruthless is shooting at anything that looks remotely German or Italian. Pack, what? Oh dear, there was a bit of a slip here by FeriG there, accidentally recruit the Pack 38 here, costing him a squad. That's pretty decent there for Reakly. Obviously, not enough to like completely turn the tide, but you know, it's a small loss here for FeriG that could maybe add some stress there to the overall proceedings. But will it be enough? Eh. The South recruiting the Pack 38 with the ambulance down the... Ooh, Ralph's got a could be choosing another wipe here on FeriG. That would be big there for Reakly if he could get another wipe here, but no. FeriG this time slips through his fingers like a slippery eel. And there you go. M1 entering and getting the flak feeling. Reakly continues his march towards the Tiger Tank, even as the front line is buckling under the sheer pressure of FeriG. I really feel like going for this Tiger Tank here is not a good move. Like, I think a Panther 4 would help a lot more versus the infantry, even the light vehicles the FeriG currently has. We've also got another squad. So I feel like Reakly here, by not going for the Panther 4, in fact, not going for the Panther 4 several minutes ago, has made a grave strategic error. Where again, like, just a lot of resources he needs now to gain more victory points is just doing nothing. Again, like, you know, force-wise, FeriG's, I mean, of course, population-wise, partly because Raven obviously now draw more population, but at the same time, like, if managing a Panther 4 with some extra infantry could definitely give, like, you know, FeriG a bit more of a hard time. But again, Reakly is obsessed with the Tiger Tank while he's bleeding out of victory points. It's like thinking about, you know, winning the lottery when you're bleeding out, you know, on the floor of a supermarket after getting shot by a robber. It's like, you know, you're thinking in the wrong ways, mate. You're wrong, you know, like, time perspective and time scale. Anyways, flag filling there's the Rav squad. Tank depot is almost on a FeriG. Reakly there is getting close to the Tiger Tank, but he is struggling to, like, not bleed out here. Pack 38 being swarmed here. Up north, Greyhound here charging after flag feeling. Could try and pop the armor piercing rounds, but I think Reakly might have forgotten about that. Grab the northern point. Anzio nearby. Front line for the German army is completely in tatters, like a rag doll that's been chewed up by the dog, and then by the cat, and then by your uncle who's a bit drunk. Up north here, Soldiers got the anti-tank, and he almost got a northern point. He's so close to the Tiger Tank, but we now got FeriG, of course, with that rat hit power. He's still got most of the map. Bringing in the flak feeling here. Rav squad there getting mauled at near point blank ranges. 7 points left. And there you go. Tiger 1's out, but 7 points left. Yeah. Definitely not a good move there by Reakly. He's down to 3 points. He is frantically holding on.
Ammunition point is being taken from us.
But it's really not looking good here for Reakly. Not by any measure. And there you go. Flak filling in trouble here. Anti-tank trying to deal with the tight EC8 here. Tiger Tank rolling in. And the flak filling is down here. Smoke deployed here. Raut's got the center point here. If he gets that, that's GG here for Reakly. He can order the Bessier to sprint forwards. Also, the smoke here from the Scot actually kind of helps out here. Reakly. 3 points left. Versus 319. 3 points left. Trying to catch the Rav squad here. Northern point, of course, is open. And, of course, Reakly heavily focused in the center now, of course, has little to defend the northern point. Tiger tank going for the Scott here. Recovery tank there, fixing up the Sherman ECA. Going for that northern point here. Which point again? It's GG here for Reakly. He's not even grabbing the point. It is now being smothered in white phosphorus.
We have lost control of a victory point.
Like an Englishman smothering his fries in peas mashed. So, there you go. GG game over here. Brutal fight, a lot of back and forth in the end there. Reakly made some bad strategic gambits. In particular, the big one, of course, was trying to go for that Tiger tank instead of just getting out of Panzer IV with some assault grenades as soon as possible. Like, even a pair of Stukes, even like not going to be like amazing versus the infantry situation, could have helped versus Scott, the Greyhound, the Cavalry tank, and you know, even like machines at least dealt some damage in the infantry. The Tiger tank, meanwhile, just wasn't there at all. It was like the absent parent that appears right at the end, where it just doesn't matter. And that's basically one of the problems for Reakly. They tactically also, like, you know, was kind of a few steps behind FeriG, who just used the riflemen quite aggressively and, of course, ruthlessly. So, there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. You learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment. This is Imperial Dancing. Cheers. And see you all tomorrow for another episode. Bye, everyone.